The Joker film is the biggest surprise success in the last couple of years, both critically and financially. However, it's strange to think that this film had everything going against it during its early development. The film was almost cancelled several times, as WB execs did not understand why this film was being made, and during the filming of Joker, the script was actively rewritten, which many saw as a sign that there was trouble behind the scenes. Let's take a look at the deleted scenes of Joker and whether or not it was a good idea to cut them from the film. The relationship between Arthur and Sophie in the original film isn't really fully explored all that much. We only saw glimpses of the two interacting, and it seemed like they had a pretty close-knit relationship. However, something about their interactions always seemed odd and out of place. Our suspicions would be validated when later in the film it was revealed that Sophie was an imaginary figure the whole time, and the real Sophie had no kind of connection to Arthur. However, did you know that in the original script, Sophie's role in the story was a lot larger? The relationship with Arthur and Sophie truly begins when Arthur follows Sophie to her workplace. However, unlike the final film where Arthur gets cold feet and decides not to enter, in the script, Arthur actually musters up the courage and enters the bank Sophie works within. Arthur proceeds to speak with her about opening a new bank account, and she has a relatively decent conversation with him. But this is cut short when Sophie's manager enters the scene and proceeds to place his hand on her shoulder, which she's visibly uncomfortable with. Sophie's next appearance happens shortly after this one. After a very unfunny stand-up performance, Sophie and Arthur talk within a cafe. Sophie tells Arthur that she was fired from her job as a bank teller because she filed a complaint against her manager, who was sexually harassing her. This firing severely affected her because now she has no way to make money and take care of her daughter. Arthur lets out a chuckle, a symptom of his uncontrollable condition. The next time Sophie appears is when Arthur enters her apartment. When he reaches the living room, he notices Sophie getting down and dirty with a random person.
What do you mean by that?
Who is revealed to be her boyfriend. Sophie screams and Arthur leaves the room without saying a word. The final scene with Sophie happens near the end of the film. Arthur approaches her at a park where she's with her daughter and other mothers. Arthur is angry at Sophie because he believes that somehow they were dating or in some kind of relationship, a belief only he shares. Sophie tells Arthur that she never had those kind of feelings for him and was only acting nice to him because she felt bad. Before Arthur leaves the park in frustration, he speaks to her daughter and calls Sophie a whore who plays with the feelings of other men. Sophie slaps Arthur and requests that he never speaks to them again. As Sophie leaves, Arthur begins to laugh, a sign of his emotional state. In the script for Joker, Arthur has an orange cat at his apartment that would appear every time he was there. It's not Garfield, but a regular cat that doesn't do anything significant. The cat just stares at Arthur in many different scenes as a passive observer of his actions. Arthur never seems to acknowledge that the cat is there. He makes passing glances at it, but strangely never interacts with the cat, at least early on. As the film continues and Arthur becomes more unhinged, he would begin to acknowledge the cat's presence and would eventually begin talking to the cat. At the end of the film, when Joker kills Randall, it's revealed that the cat was not real, another figment of Arthur's imagination and a representation of his mental state. He sets the cat free into the world, marking Arthur's embrace of madness. However, before the cat leaves, he stares at him for a while, perhaps hinting that Arthur may have been hesitating in his final moments, but in the end decided to go through with his plans. The Joker's laugh in the Joker film is an intrinsic part of his character, an element of his life that has brought him great discomfort and isolated him from most of society. However, this laugh is not the only clown-like element that the character would have had. In the original script for the Joker film, Arthur actually has a notable scar on his mouth that resembles a smile, a Glasgow Smile to be exact, an injury that involves one cutting the corners of their mouth all the way to their cheeks or ears, leaving a broad and permanent smile-like scar. As revealed by Joker while talking to Sophie within a cafe, this Glasgow Smile originated from his childhood. When he was young, he was severely bullied by the children around him, who nicknamed him Happy for his condition. One day he had enough, grabbed a razor, and cut a smile into his mouth, loudly proclaiming to his bullies, "You want Happy? Here, how's this for Happy?" Joker's scars seem to be an important part of his character, as there's many scenes where its importance is emphasized, such as when a young Bruce Wayne touches the scars when Joker visits Wayne Manor. The importance of the Glasgow Smile reaches its conclusion near the end of the film. Later in the film, when Joker is in front of his followers, he grabs a broken piece of glass, traces the scars on his mouth, and once again cuts a smile onto his face, fully embracing his past trauma and transforming into the Joker. In this sequence, Randall confronts Arthur, angry that he accused him of giving him the gun.
Why don't you ask Randall about it? It was his gun.
What?
I still owe you for that, don't I?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Randall states that the police are on the lookout for a clown who killed the Wayne employees on the train, and that Arthur would be an obvious suspect. Arthur denies having anything to do with the murder, which Randall does not believe. He points out that the clown masks being sold to the public are based off the description of the murderer, a design that looks very similar to Arthur's clown makeup. Randall assures Arthur that people are happy about what he did, and if the police do come snooping around, they'll be sure not to snitch on each other. During the police chase in the film, Arthur bumps into someone accidentally. However, when the man turns around, he appears to have Joker makeup. Now, based on the reactions of the two, it seems likely that Arthur was hallucinating the mask onto this random person. It could also just be a man wearing a Joker mask, but the script does not really make this clear. When Thomas Wayne punches Arthur in the film, his bodyguards were supposed to barge into the bathroom and kick Arthur out of the building. He falls down the stairs in a dramatic fashion. This is all in fact an act, as Arthur knows how to perfectly dramatize and exaggerate his movements. As he stands up, the protesters applaud his theatricality, and Arthur does a long and drawn-out bow. When Arthur first kills the Wayne employees on the subway, he runs into a public restroom and attempts to shoot himself in the head with the same gun. However, the chamber is empty, and thus the gun fails to fire, leading to Arthur hiding the gun away within a grate in the bathroom. The scene is changed in the final film due to the filmmakers wanting to embrace Arthur's musical side. After Arthur killed his mother, there's an additional scene where we see him attending her funeral, but he does not seem to be saddened by her death. He did kill her after all. What did you think he was gonna feel? Instead, he appears relieved. In fact, the script states that he begins laughing in this sequence, but it's unclear if it's due to his condition or if he genuinely finds this amusing. The detectives have been a big presence in the film at this point, and watch Arthur from afar, requesting that he visits the precinct for additional questioning as soon as possible. When Arthur finds out that his mother has been attempting to send letters, Arthur decides to send a message himself by going into Thomas Wayne's office and requesting to hand-deliver the letter. The receptionist refuses to let Arthur meet Thomas Wayne, who he notices within the building. Arthur bangs on glass, attempting to get his attention, and is promptly thrown out by security guards. When he tries to run into the building again, he is stopped yet again by the same security guards. When Arthur's mother is first admitted to the hospital, he's approached by a doctor and nurses and ask him if he's the same guy they saw on the Murray Franklin show. Arthur attempts to deny this, but the nurses and doctor see through his bluff and begin to make fun of him. Arthur gets angry and threatens to choke them if they don't leave him alone.
Oh, why is everybody so upset about these guys? If it was me dying on the sidewalk, you'd walk right over me. I pass you every day and you don't notice me. But these guys, what, because Thomas Wayne cried about them on TV?
There were several different takes on Joker's rant on the Murray show. According to Joaquin Phoenix, the one he liked the most could not be used as it did not work with the other scenes in the film.